Tbvnks and Cameron Lavine have been going back and forth. They broke up. There's been a lot of he say, she say, and I understand. You know, when you're in a relationship, shit do get tough, shit do get critical. But at the end of the day, as soon as it hit the internet, now it's our time to talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you give us stuff to talk about, now we got to talk about it. So let's get straight into it, and let me know y'all opinion down below, and like the video too. Don't be lame. Like the video.
I'm not the that signed the NDA. I don't need to be scared about that. Scared of me. If y'all are wondering who I'm talking about, y'all know I'm talking about Tamari.
Expose what? A story between us? No matter if I cheated or you cheated, no matter what happened, these don't need to know. This is between us. This is private. She knows about Fear Buck. She knows about these people posting me saying I don't give a f.
Recently, the Tbvnks files got released, with him and his now ex-girlfriend Cameron Lavine have broken up, and her going on live trying to expose him for apparently being not only a horrible boyfriend, but just a horrible person in general. Effectively trying to not only destroy his PR, but basically destroy his entire career after their relationship went bad. But I want to break down everything that happened, with Tbvnks even coming in and responding before Cameron Lavine got to say anything on live or do her so-called exposing. It is pretty muddy.
Okay, so basically Cameron Lavine came on TikTok live and said she gonna expose Tbvnks, and Tbvnks immediately, I'm talking about immediately, no questions asked, jumped the gun. We can't do that one. we can't do that one. So he dropped his story time exposing, well, not basically exposing, but just saying his truth and his piece, so that if he does get any backlash from it, at least he said what he needed to say.
In between, and there is a lot to talk about, but I don't want to yap too much. So let's start with the first clip that set all of this off.
That's funny is if I go on my page, on my Instagram, because everybody talking about W Method. Is W Method till I drop the receipts of text messages that y'all would be blown. Images, and just everything, bro. Like, that, like, y'all don't, I'm not the that signed the NDA. I don't need to be scared about that. Scared of me. If y'all are wondering who I'm talking about, y'all know I'm talking about Tamari.
That right there is Cameron Lavine, younger sister to Zach Lavine, who is an NBA star. And she is now the current ex-girlfriend of Tbvnks. And if you don't know who that is, he is a very well-known streamer who blew up off of his new style of making clips on TikTok and is now in deep water because of these accusations from his ex. With that clip right there going viral on not only TikTok but also Twitter, and a bunch of people making speculations as to what possibly could have happened during a relationship for her to be going this crazy. But before she can even have the chance to talk, Tbvnks actually sparked up live earlier today to break down this entire situation because he felt like she was going to lie on his name.
I'm not gonna lie, if I ever go through like some sort of big breakup like this, God forbid, knock on wood, y'all better not be all in my business. I ain't gonna lie. If y'all force me to come to the internet, I will be mad at y'all. If y'all ever force me to genuinely come to the internet to explain some shit, I will be mad at y'all. I will be mad at y'all. Look, I get it. All these other communities, they can do that. They can do that. But us, we not doing that. We not doing that. I got to pull to this Black History Month event, dog. Hey, pull up, bro. Don't worry about the stream, bro. We going to be back. You can catch this on YouTube. Go show support to the people, man, for real.
And try and destroy his career.
Y'all remember the Vegas stream? I took Will, I took Jew, her friend, and I took me to Vegas. I paid for everything, even though there was promises that people were going to help me out with the expenses. This is when the relationship is getting serious. Now we're claiming each other. Now we're on TikTok. Now we're posting each other and on the drive back.
Hey, look, I don't care if I'm with my girl and we on a vacation trip. I'm not paying for everything with her friends. I'm paying everything for me and my girl. After that, we closed off. I ain't gonna lie. The fourth wall is there. I ain't gonna lie. After me and my girl, I can't pay for nobody else. Not because I can, not because I can, but I don't want to because I can't. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not paying for everybody else on the trip. Seriously. He better not be talking about him paying for everybody.
She starts telling me the way she operates in relationships. She starts telling me that, you know, if my homeboys want to come over and sleep over, my boyfriend has to deal with that. I just grew up with a lot of guys. This is something that he has to just understand. I grew up in a basketball family. So I started telling her, this is not something that I align with, and I cannot date you if this is what you need to do. And we come to a conversation. The first red flag I noticed.
Oh, yeah, no. I ain't gonna lie. After that red, bro, he talking about the first red flag. That's the biggest red flag. What? The first, nigga, that's the biggest. That's the biggest. You know how they say last but not least? No, first and most. First and foremost, nigga. Seriously. Seriously. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. What you mean the guy friends could sleep over because you grew up in a basketball family? Basketball family ain't tell you that. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Let me chill. 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 Let me chill.
From this girl, and I'm not gonna lie, Cameron has a massive ego. Yeah, I've seen it on TikTok that she claims she can pull any that she wants. After
Jug, what you talking about?
she tells me if me and my friend wanted to be on this, we would have just left the Airbnb with you and Will, and we would have just got a hotel because it was NBA Summer League. And I ask her, I say, why are you telling me this? And she was like, I was just letting you know that that's what we wanted to be on. We would have been on that. Mind you, the conversation had nothing to do with that. She would do things that was constantly disrespectful that I'm going to get to. She would bring, and she constantly would give me a compliment, and then snatch it away. For example, she would be like, oh, I know you got a big meat, but it's not that big though. I've seen way bigger. Or she'd be like, yeah, you're 6 foot. You're kind of tall, but you're not that tall. You're short. She would do this constantly, off stream, backhanded compliments.
I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't expect anything different from somebody, from a lady that is the sister of a NBA superstar. Like, do you know what type of what she probably seen in that crib while Zach Lavine was on his way to the league, bro? She's wired differently. That's one thing you gotta understand. When you get into these lanes and these doors, you know what I'm saying? People are wired differently. I ain't gonna lie, bro. She come to him talking about basketball family, and so I could let guys stay over, and now she giving him compliments and taking it back, bro. That sound like somebody that genuinely grew up around all guys. That's what that sounds like. Seriously, why does he have this hat and that hat back there? I'm sorry, I'm off track. Make sure you like the video.
Swear to God.
Tbvnks describing the beginning of his relationship with Cameron Lavine just seems like a recipe for disaster. Everything he talked about is something that not most people would be okay with. First of all, backhanded compliments, snatching back compliments in general was very weird and an odd trait for someone to have, especially someone who...
Bro, I can't even read what Jug said. It got emotes. I can't read what Jug said.
Who already has a pretty big ego coming from the family that she does. Along with the fact that having to be okay with any guy just randomly coming over your girlfriend's house, staying over and doing things without you even knowing, with no real reason behind it, it's going to be weird and off-putting to literally anybody. I don't think I can find a human being on this planet that will most likely be okay with that in any way, shape, or form. So it just seemed like the beginning of the relationship was already spelling the recipe for disaster that would come to follow. And I want y'all to know his response is like an hour long. We are not about to sit here for an hour, so I'm just gonna break it up into his most digestible parts and the craziest stories that he told from his...
Alright, hurry up and break it up then, man. Come on now. We 4:30 in. The people waiting, man. Come on. What's his name? Yo, Novely. The people are waiting. Novely. Come on.
Response. But I will have the link to Tbvnks' video if you do want to go watch the full hour.
I went to the DMV to do a stream with Big Win. Toolkit at the time was hacked. Do y'all remember that? That's why I didn't stream. During this whole time, I'm on FaceTime with her. I'm texting her. Noir's vaccines was expired. So I asked her, I gave her the keys to my crib. And if you know me, you cannot know that you have the keys to my crib. You cannot know my address. I don't want friends, family. If you come over my crib, you got location on, you have to turn that off. I do not like people knowing where I live based on my past and where I'm from. But I've trusted her in the months that I know her. I gave her the keys to my crib. I asked her to walk my dog. I even said you can sleep over if you need to. The third day I was in the DMV, she walked my dog, went over to her friend's house, said she was gonna link with somebody. She leaves my crib after walking my dog after I got off the phone with her, links up with another guy. Mind you, everything was going good at this point. Nothing was bad. No arguments or anything. We go to a restaurant after I land back in LA. I see a hickey on her neck. I ask her, where the f did she get that hickey from? Because I have not seen you in a week. She sat right there, played dumb and said, oh no, I don't know what the f you're talking about on her phone. Didn't want to look at me. She finally
that's the problem with new generation niggas. You mean where you get that hickey from? Hell no. Nah. I ain't gonna lie. Either that hickey finna come off your neck right now or we're done. Either you finna figure out a way to get this hickey to go away, find the molecules to get all this color to go away, or we're done. Bro. Simple as that. No questions asked.
And tells me that she's seen a whole nother guy. They went out for a date. They ate food. She got kissed on. And that happened while I was telling her on the phone how much I wanted her to be my girlfriend.
Something I cut out from Tbanks' responses in the middle of him mentioning all of this. He talked about this is when they were getting more serious, and he was posting them a lot on his channels when he was out here buying her flowers basically every week, apparently taking out on dates every week, and just talking and actually trying to be an actual.
One thing about being a streamer is you're watching these people Canon events live. You're watching these people genuinely have Canon events live. I ain't gonna lie, this is a Canon event. Realizing that the person that you're trying to give your all to is like the bottom of somebody else's shoe is kind of sad. I ain't gonna lie. That, like, no disrespect to Tbanks or Cameron, you feel me? I don't got nothing to do with it. But in Tbanks' perception, that's what he was kind of feeling like. He giving his all to this lady, and she getting treated like a side bleep to another dude. You know what I'm saying? It's not fair.
Couple. And all of this happened while he was out doing his job, trying to stream and do collabs with Big Win. And that's pretty insane to hear for a lot of his chat and just a lot of people in general. Because when she first dropped this exposed or went on TikTok Live talking about she was going to expose him, it made it seem like he was going to be the worst human being on planet Earth. But based off all the stuff you're saying right here, and all the stuff I'm telling you, adding in some info, it seems like Tbanks is one of the biggest victims in this situation. Obviously, it's just his side, but still, hearing a lot of stuff that he has to say makes anyone pretty sad, and you probably can't tell, so I'm most likely gonna have a chat blur. A lot of people in this chat are spamming L's, getting pretty upset from him, even saying that Cameron Lavine was just using this man for clout or using this man for fun. In the way that she was talking to him on stream, off stream, and the way that she was moving, and how trusting he actually was when she just wasn't doing any of that. Wild to see, especially since he doesn't even end right there. He has a bunch more stories to tell about this girl.
I went to Seattle and Portland for her. She asked me to go because of a party. When I go, we drinking, she gets extremely drunk. Not really bad, but she gets very friendly. Mind you, she has already gone off about me, about my ex, about things I say on stream. She has me on a belt. So in October, we go to Portland. She starts drinking and she gets very friendly in front of me. She gets drunk and some guy that had made a weird advance to her at one point a couple months ago comes up to her and makes a joke. She laughs, bounces down on one knee, slaps his leg, and starts laughing the hardest I ever seen her laugh. Her homeboys come around and makes a joke about cracking her friends. I don't know if this is on purpose. I have no beef with this man. I think he was drunk out of his mind. He accidentally touched her chest. Her friend looks at me, I look at her friend. I'm surrounded by about 15. If I get mad and snuff this, I probably wouldn't be here at this point. I look at Cameron, I say, why are you being friendly in front of my face? This girl looks me in my eyes, turns around, walks away and says, I'm not dealing with this shit, and walks the fuck away. I have to pick her up to take her to the car because that was her only ride. I take her to the car. She's laughing in my face about the situation. I get to the hotel. Me being a good guy, I paid for 3 hotel rooms. One for her, one for me, and one for her friend still. Her friend says to me, which I have no problem with her friend, that if you was to do the opposite, you would be right now. You would be getting absolutely cursed out and she would leave your ass alone. Cameron, while drunk, decides to curse me and her friend the out. She calls me and her friend weird and curses us out in front of the hotel staff because she was the one being friendly. She cursed me out for about 3 hours straight.
Before I talk about the story,
Oh no! Oh no! See, I ain't gonna lie. This is the problem, right? This is the problem. This is the problem. The problem is Tbanks. Okay, clearly that's the problem. The problem is Tbanks. The problem is obviously Cameron. That came off wrong. The problem is Cameron, right? The problem is Tbanks ain't setting the foundation. You not setting the foundation, and while you're trying to set the foundation, you know when you land down concrete and they keep stepping on your concrete, and everybody keeps stepping on the concrete so it don't look, it just got footprints in the cement. That's what Cameron Lavine doing to what Tbanks trying. He was trying to set a foundation for the relationship, and she was letting him know this not gonna work, but I still want it to be here. I still want the concrete to harden, but I still want to put my footsteps in it. You know what I'm saying? As soon as she would have did all that at the party, and like I would have genuinely had a conversation. We would have genuinely had a conversation. But after she would have cursed me out, after about like 20 minutes, I ain't gonna lie, if she ain't trying to hear a nigga out for her messing up, it would have been done. I don't know why he's staying. I don't care how much money, what notoriety, who she related to. Get up out of there. Nothing is worth more than yourself. Nothing is worth more than your brand, you at all.
Some things I want to add on that I skipped over a bit from Tbvnks' own account is that this is the point where his relationship is getting worse and worse, to the point where she is hindering him from streaming, coming up with a bunch of excuses and delaying him from being able to do his job, along with the fact that she isn't understanding about what this job actually provides for him, coming up multiple times apparently even saying that she doesn't really care and she understands that this is supposed to provide for his mother and the rest of his family, but she just wants
learn from his mistakes. Yo, Power, who you feeling?
Him to stop and focus on her, along with also being upset about him not going to an NBA YoungBoy concert with her because he wants to sit down and stream, which is his entire job, and she got super mad at that and was cursing him out in front of his hotel lobby, apparently cursing him out so much that he got noise complaints, doing a bunch of other things outside of just that story right there. But on the topic of what he just said, that is wild and insane, and the fact that he is staying with her through all of this has a bunch of people perplexed. Like, we've all heard or seen or even been in toxic relationships, but having this being aired out on the internet makes it 10 times worse because no one really needs to hear the story. It could have just been between those two, and all of these things wouldn't have come out with them being able to judge not only Tbvnks but her. Instead, all of the internet now has their eyes on it, is able to give their thoughts and opinions on some stuff that really should have just stayed private. I'm not going to sit here and act like Tbvnks was the same, because even in his own account he didn't do that. He even brought up times where he was wrong, mainly being the internet perception that they have of their relationships because of how he acted on stream, which was a big proponent of why a bunch of people were genuinely curious as to what she was going to say when she was going to expose Tbvnks.
December comes around. This is when DEO Yarn and everybody started getting on my ass. I'm going to take full accountability at this point. The troll and the jokes on stream, no matter what we were dealing with in private, that is something that I don't think is a good light, and I am never doing again with no girls. I'm gonna take full accountability. I play too much, I rage bait, and I troll man, woman, kid, old adult, elder. And that's just my personality. That's why I got my ass whooped a lot as a kid. That's why my dad used to get mad at me. I play way too much. And I'm not going to take that from nobody, because no, I played at funerals. I played at weddings. I played in school. I trolled. I rage baited teachers. I rage baited my friends. That's why I got in fights with friends. I am a that plays way too much. I got it from my pops, but that does not excuse the shit I was seeing on stream. And even if, no matter how I felt about the off camera, that does not excuse me trolling like that on camera. Me playing around, me rage baiting, me trolling. So I'm going to take full accountability with that 100%. Even when I watch some of the clips with me and Cynthia, I'd be like, damn, he was going too hard, my nigga. Sure, it was funny in the moment, but like, what the fuck were you thinking? Like, you playing too much, man. Some of this shit might not even seem like playing, like something you might seem like you actually hate this person. Like, I'm doing way too much. Now, some of the shit we go back and forth, sure, but for the most part, like, that shit was, at that point, making you seem like you putting someone on a platform just to embarrass them.
This was the big public perception of Tbvnks and his relationships, both of them, honestly, because I made a previous video talking about his ex and how a bunch of people weren't okay with the way that he treated her and how they were going back and forth on stream a lot, arguing, and basically it felt like what he said at the end right there. He was bringing girls on a platform just to embarrass them, just to argue with them. He had a bunch of people genuinely upset at this man, and a bunch of people on TikTok, from YouTube to Twitter, making entire think pieces about how terrible he treats these women that he brings on his platform.
So it sounds like my boy got karma. This sounds like a clear case of karma.
Now, he just seems like he's using them to get clips off and doesn't actually care about them. And these clips went super viral, especially during that time with DEO Yarn, and a bunch of other people were clipping these things that were happening on his subathon from clips like this.
I think I'm tired. I don't want to be... Come on, bro. That shit's funny.
Turn the music down. I'm not trying to copyright it.
Now they clip my ass. And they say I look chopped. I see it clipping me on the internet like...
You're telling them what to clip now.
No.
That's like me saying, yo, chat, I'm about to say a slur. Clip it and get me canceled.
Sleep.
So you're talking, so I have to put the camera on you so you can talk to him.
I don't need to. No, I'm not. I told you. Tomorrow, keep doing that shit. After I just said don't do it. I want a fucking response. I want a fucking change.
Okay.
I'm tired of this shit.
Okay.
I'm tired of fucking
arguing. Hey, it's not muted no more. Can we just drive?
I don't care about mute, unmute. I'm tired
of arguing on stream. Listen, I'm gonna have niggas making documentaries. Just drive.
And that's your fault.
Hey, that boy say he having niggas make documentaries.
You stream your life.
Okay.
Holy shit.
whispered it?
I'm talking about today.
Then when I didn't say anything, then you said it again to get a response. I heard you the first time. It's good.
I'm not trying to do a response.
You did. That you are. Because you said it twice. First you whispered it.
Here you go.
I didn't say nothing. You're like, I should have stayed home. I heard you. You're good. It says vibe out.
Nigga, it's not a competition. How about you just stop?
Oh my God.
The public perception for Tbvnks was at its worst at times like these when he had viral clips of him arguing with his ex. Either one of them, and a bunch of people were looking at him as a complete weirdo because he was just putting him on the platform to what it seems like embarrassing.
I ain't gonna lie, especially when you're arguing with your girlfriend, I ain't gonna lie, as a man, as a boyfriend, it shouldn't be arguing. I ain't gonna lie, it shouldn't be arguing. You realize early on in a relationship, back and forth shouldn't turn into arguments. You gotta at least have some sort of like understanding. If y'all not trying to understand each other, it's gonna be an argument. If y'all learn how to understand each other, it's gonna be a back and forth disagreement, understand to understand, or agree to disagree. But if not that, it's just gonna be arguing, and then you're gonna hear about it. Guys don't like arguing. Guys don't like going back and forth past like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. So when your girl keep going, you're gonna have to hear that shit. Seriously.
Some to do things that they didn't want to do. So it's good that he took accountability for that and understands that it was bad. Because it's probably weird being a fan of Tbvnks and seeing him consistently pull up streams or consistently seeing clips of him hate farming any girl that he seems to be around. And having constant people judge him and talk bad about his character because all the clips that are going out are him being weird to the people that he has on stream. But Tbvnks even wanted to clarify on that more that some of these clips were not only taken out of context, but he also didn't clear them up and would just focus on clearing up his own PR because he didn't want any of the backlash that he was getting to come after her as well.
And I even told her I have text proof. I said, you know what? I'm going to take all the flack for everything that happened. I don't want your character being attacked. I don't want your family dealing with it. I'll take the EO yarn. I'll take all these on my back no matter what happens behind closed doors. And I have text proof of that shit. I'm going to protect your image and your career. And the only reason why I wasn't even going to do this stream, chat, I was going to spark up to my 1.6, 1.5K today and play Roblox to give y'all a yap session and play do some. Only reason why I sparked up today was because this shit is all over Twitter. This shit is all over TikTok. And this person only went on live to hurt my career. She has nothing for her to gain by telling her side of the story. You don't do YouTube. You don't stream. Your family's already taken care of. There's no reason for you to go on live and sit right there and say I'm going to expose him other than to hurt me. This is not the only time she's threatening to go on. I have a video of her saying she's going to go on the internet to expose me. Expose what? A story between us? No matter if I cheated or you cheated, no matter what happened. These don't need to know. This is between us. This is private. She knows about Fear Buck. She knows about these people posting me saying I don't give a f. She knows this shit is going to come back on me. If I blow the if I fall off tomorrow, if I get allegations on my name, if I fall off tomorrow, she's still taken care of. Y'all have y'all life to go on. Camel Boy has a new streamer to work with. Spacey's gonna post for a new YouTuber. My life is fucked up. I lose my car. I lose my dog. I lose my apartment. I lose my brand deals. I go back to being fucked up in life. And what the f did she lose from this situation? Not anything.
From Tbvnks.
I ain't gonna lie, my Hey, you know when somebody telling the truth when he don't stutter. I'ma say that.
This is POV of the entire situation. It seems like a pretty tragic tale, with him obviously taking accountability in certain ways, with him being a content creator, putting on a platform, and humiliating her in ways that were definitely not right. But it seems like a pretty tragic tale from the way that Tbvnks told it. And with all of these allegations he's throwing her way, she eventually was going to have to come and try to defend herself, which she eventually did. When she went live on Instagram, and thankfully somebody else recorded it, so I just had to download it. I'm just going to clip up the most important parts and show y'all the stories, but from her POV.
He wants me to watch his dog. I'm watching his dog and doing everything so he don't have to pay. He wants me to watch.
Zariah, look, this has nothing to do with the video at hand. You see her on live and you said restart the story time for me. You think Chief gonna You think she's gonna restart the story time for you only? Restart the story time for me. All right, man.
Watch his dog. I'm watching his dog and doing everything so he don't have to pay for it. We were talking and he was being honest. He was like, yeah, I'm thinking about like really dating you and taking shit seriously. I'm like, yeah, like me too. I really fuck with you. But like, I just didn't know really how I felt. Like, I just dead ass couldn't get over the fact of the shit that he did. It was fucking with me. I was like, damn, I just don't know if I could get past the fact that, like, this man could be lying to me and you were cracking your ex the whole time while me and you have something good going on and my shit's clear. You know, like, that's not fair to me that someone's gonna do that in my face. Tamari knew that I wasn't for sure about dating him. So boom, I took the opportunity. I said, you know what? I don't feel like I should give someone a chance if, like...
See, look, when you do a response video, don't do a response trying to address the worst shit to start off, because it just makes you look guilty. When you respond to somebody in an exposed video, you got to break it down piece by piece. You should not be on Instagram Live. You ain't orchestrate this well enough, Cameron. No disrespect, you ain't orchestrate this well enough. You need to at least do like something where it's like you got to address each and every single thing. You feel me? You just set the camera up and said, man, no, I had that man in my crib because he did this and that and that. He was in my crib because this. Or, no, I was taking care of his dog and this, that, and the third. And I'm not trying to hate on you, no nothing. I'm not on nobody's side. But you talk about, I took care of his dog because he didn't have to pay for that. I was doing it for him for free. Okay. What about the nigga? What about the nigga? She ain't had nothing to expose him for. That's what it seems like. And I'm not trying to be like a harsh dude, but
honestly, I feel like someone's playing in my face. So I want to get food of him. The man was begging for a kiss. I gave him a peck. And he tried to, like, you know, be guys, all that shit. And I was like, nah, I'm cool. He's like, all right, cool. I met him at a spot, dropped him back off where he was at, where the friends and shit were at. I'm cool. At the end of the day, regardless if that man was cracking old girl or not, I was cool. That man...
Bro, why are you dissing Tay? Hey, why they dissing Tay? I'm confused. Tay too smooth, method. Why they just diss Tay? My girl take 32-hour naps, and she got all the HBCU new. She go to all the HBCU new parties, and I let her hang with all her homeboys. Is this the Tbvnks burner? Hey, no disrespect. Hey, look, no disrespect. Look, I'm not gonna hate on the man, especially knowing the type of situation that he's going through at the moment. It was a joke. Look, don't hurt my PR, please. We're doing so good. Come on, bro. Don't hurt my PR right now. All right, but look though, Tay Too Smooth method is crazy, bro. What he do?
And did not kiss on my neck. That man did not kiss on my neck, but he was trying to, like, kiss on me.
Some prior knowledge before we dive into this clip and the specific moment she's talking about is the fact that Tbvnks' ex Cynthia was texting Cameron Lavine once they first made their appearance together, talking crazy to her about stuff that Tbvnks did, that Tbvnks still wants her, saying a bunch of wild things. And during that time, Tbvnks tried to clear everything up, telling her that she is just making up stories, even though there was stuff going on online, even showing proof and receipts to apparently disprove a lot of the bad things that people were saying about him and his old relationship before they got together. And that was the main thing that was apparently holding her back from actually being with Tbvnks. And then the following story that she talks about is one where Banks says that she had got the hickey from when he was out trying to make content and wasn't able to because the things that he used to stream on Twitch was apparently hacked. And she did not end up getting the hickey while they were out, but did go on a date with the guy because they weren't official and truly in a talking stage. But that's not the only story she tried to recant. She also talked about other stuff that happened that Tbvnks mentioned.
I did not link with him at a public place to get closure. He wanted his shit. He had a basketball, he had basketball shoes, and clothes. There's also still clothes that I have to get rid of that I don't wear, never wore, and Tamari his mom was blowing my phone and he was off of a fake number. This man has always been blocked in my phone. He was using fake numbers, blowing my phone, talking about, can I have the stuff, can I have the stuff, can I have the stuff? And he knows this. My ex is texting me and he wants his shit. His mom even texted me here. I showed him proof, everything. I just never ended up telling Tamari that I was going to go end up meeting with him and giving him his shit. I ended up doing that.
Bro, just look at the comments, man. Did he shit talk any streamers behind the scenes that is worthy of clipping? Then he shit talk any of the streamers behind the scenes that is worthy of clipping. Man, shut your nerdy ass up, man. What you talking about, bruh? Seriously. No disrespect in GTA. No disrespect in GTA.
Meeting with him and giving him his shit. I ended up doing that while he was at DMV, but he was already informed that he has texted. I showed proof. I showed text messages. I even showed proof after where it was, everything. He Ubered to the spot, gave him the shit, talked about the fucked up shit in the relationship. He apologized. He Ubered the fuck back to the airport, and I went to Jaden's. I went to Jaden's crib. So boom. And you're saying that's crazy.
Jaden Newman?
Let me pause on it. It's crazy that mine texted me asking for shit, and right before that prior, this man tomorrow.
I'm glad I grew up with Prime YouTube. These little motherfuckers gotta grow up with Tbvnks and Cameron Lavine drama. I mean, yeah, this really what some of y'all coming up off of. Y'all really growing up on this. Y'all gonna be at 20 years old talking about, y'all remember when Tbvnks and Cameron Lavine? Nah. For me it was, you remember when Flight and Soul played? Hey, you remember the second time they play? Hey, you feel me? It's levels to this.
Ari had Cynthia walking in the crib, grabbing clothes, and she still had clothes left over even after the fact. And I wasn't, you feel me? I wasn't tweaking on that. So I feel like out of respect, he shouldn't have even have cared when I showed him that my ex was texting me off of a fake number asking for his shit. I said, I gotta give him his shit.
I try not to be biased in these videos so I can show both sides in an equal manner, but it is genuinely very hard for me to grab and piece together her story. She is one of the worst storytellers I've ever seen in my entire life.
What I tell ya.
This is one of the only other cohesive stories that she told where she had met up with her ex but didn't end up telling Tbvnks, and he got upset about it. Even though Tbvnks was allowing his ex to come and grab stuff from his house, yet he was upset that she was doing the same thing. Now in all reality, of all the stuff I've shown you, her story, his side, even though it was a short part of only her side, this just seems like a normal toxic relationship. Yeah, pretty bad and stuff that shouldn't have happened, but it's something that the internet didn't need to know and that we have no real effect on.
I ain't gonna lie, nothing changed after me watching this, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Except for the fact that you liked the video though. Please do. But nothing really changed after me. I mean, the video was good, but like, what are we really gonna gain from this? From Tbvnks and Cameron Lavine? You know what I'm saying? I might have gained a couple YouTube subs, but besides that, it's not really much to gain from this. You know what I'm saying? So